stranger to my eyes, trying to my pain with his finger, singing my life with his word, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly with his song.
We are so pleased that you've all come here to celebrate with us today. And I want to thank a number of people for joining us, including some representatives from the government of Rwanda. Since then, Kepler has enrolled more than 700 students across our campuses here and in Kigali and in the KIZIBA refugee camp. And today, we are celebrating 105 graduates, our largest graduating class ever, including our first refugee graduates from the KIZIBA campus and our first international and refugee student graduates from Burundi as well. Let's all just please give them a quick round of applause. We have students in this room from all across Rwanda. We have students from Congo and Burundi. We have refugee learners. We have men and women from all kinds of backgrounds. And you have all arrived here on your own journeys. You've spent years working towards this day and this goal. And I'm sure that all along the way, there has been striving and ambition and fulfillment and failure and adaptation and reinvention. And I hope that you recognize that you are all very different people than you were when you walked in Kepler's doors several years ago. And while we are here to celebrate your graduation, it is not the piece of paper that matters. Because your journey to this moment is what has held the greatest value. You will all have your own careers, you will all go in different directions, and for each of you, there will be more striving and more ambition, more fulfillments and failures, more adaptations and reinventions, and more learning, and in fact, constant learning. 10 years from now, I hope that you will look back and say, I never expected where life has taken me, and I cannot wait for the next chapter. I hope that you recognize the Kepler community is already more proud of you than you could possibly know. And I have every confidence that you will leave this room today and continue to be trailblazers and innovators and leaders over the years to come. But always remember, your education is a privilege and an opportunity.
This is our day. We have to be happy for our achievements and keep enjoying our success. However, on the other hand, we have to remember that this is not the end of our journey. It is the starting point of working hard and intelligently. It is time to show that we are the generation that past generations were waiting for. I'm grateful to Kepler and Southern New Hampshire University, Midimal, and UNHCR because Kepler KIZIBA is running and the refugees are able to access higher education. Through the Southern New Hampshire University Refugee Initiative, we have been able to restore and to rebuild the hope of the future. I believe that true education is the best tool to changing lives. Refugees need this opportunity to be part of the world. Kepler is giving us the mindset and skills to engage with the world across boundaries. Nothing is more valuable than saving a life and sustaining a life. Once again, may God bless Rwanda and Rwandans, Kepler and its alumni, as well as Southern New Hampshire University for giving us this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Kepler, for improving every day and helping us align with the current market condition through your developed policies. I would like to appreciate all the efforts from the Student Government Association, course facilitators, teaching assistants, career team that helped us to excel in academics and feel at home. parents who guided us behind the scenes, and most especially, I'm honored to have been Southern New Hampshire class of 2018 because each of you contributed to what we had as a class. Congrats once again, all graduates. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brain in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself in any direction you choose. You are on your own, and you know what you know. You're the person who will decide where to go. So as you go on to an even more intense journey of self-discovery and competition, I hope you remember the fact that we graduated from a program like Kepler itself is enough evidence that we are high above mediocrity and definitely way beyond average. Good luck and congrats once again.
Today I want you to remember that when you fall or when you fail, that you are learning, and I hope that you find it in you to enjoy the ride. Rwanda is a country for the courageous and the resilient. And you have proven to yourself and to the people watching you today that you are exactly that. But a new journey has begun, and challenges await, not to knock you down, but to refine your character. Here is what I would like for you to remember. Always, always be proud of the work of your hands. When he was speaking, I remember the story of a Congolese refugee who told his son, after he had just graduated from a fancy degree, you know, like many of you guys, learn to use your hands because life will take you somewhere and only your hands will feed you. Do not be ashamed of what your hands can do. No matter what you do, let no one make fun of the work that you're doing.
I rise like the day, I rise up, in spite of the air, I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I rise like the day, I rise up, in spite of the air, I rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
Where I met up with one of our partners who worked with us in healthcare. Very, very strong partner for us. And he came to this meeting and he said, Per, I don't want to work in healthcare anymore. I've decided I want to reinvent higher education. And I said, Oliver, that's a great thought. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to start in Africa. And I'm going to start in Rwanda because Rwanda is such a great country to make change and to drive pilots. And I said, so what's that going to cost? And he said, I have no idea. I haven't thought about it yet. Do you have a concept? No. But he drew something up on back on an envelope for me, actually back of a menu. And he said, this is the way it's going to look like. And we don't have a campus, we don't have staff, but we have a few people who have this idea. And I thought it was a great idea. And my colleagues thought it was a great idea. So we said, let's go for it. Now, the problem was that nobody else wanted to go for it. So we had to take the whole investment ourselves. Because it was new, it was unproven, it's never been done before in the same way. And as I said, when I look at you today, I think we made the right decision. Now, the IKEA Foundation is also a foundation that focuses a lot on all the opportunities that refugees can represent. So then a couple of years later, I was in Oxford at a conference, and I had a person who was then the head of Kepler was there, and one of my partners from UNHCR was there. And we said, let's come together for lunch and discuss how can we create this opportunity in a refugee camp. And we decided to go for it, and everyone did their utmost to make that happen. And 6 months later, we opened up the campus in KIZIBA refugee camp here in Rwanda. 6 months it took. And I remember the inauguration because I was there, and I remember it as if it was yesterday. And I can tell you, I'm so happy to be here today and see that we have 4 graduates from the KIZIBA campus. So I also wanted to use this opportunity to thank the Rwandan government, because without the close collaboration with the government and the support of the government, we would not have been able to finance Kepler, and the very skilled Kepler staff would never been able to develop what they have developed over the last 6 years. And you should be very proud of that. So thanks to you, thanks to the staff, and all I can say is, go out and change your country. Thank you.